Hey everybody, it's Calvin the Go here, and I am here discussing One Piece. I'm going to be giving you guys my top 5 strongest admirals or marines of all time, and I really would appreciate if you guys could like, share, and subscribe, and comment, and I really appreciate all the love I've been getting of late, and yeah, I'm going to get into the video now, but yeah, so share the word, show everyone who enjoys One Piece these videos, and I really would appreciate that. Okay, so basically, my reason for doing this video is just kind of giving my thoughts on power scaling in terms of the Marines, the upper ranks, the admirals. I know there's only going to be one vice admiral who's really going to be involved in this. We know that the vice admirals for the majority of the story have been very underwhelming, very let's just be real, they've been trash, right? But obviously, Vice Admiral Garp is the hero of the Marines, so he's someone who's going to be included in this. And then everyone else is going to be an admiral or fleet admiral. You know, I think it's just kind of obvious how that's going to fill out. There's going to be a little bit of hot takes in there, but I think most things people are going to probably agree with. There's not going to be Green Bull. There's not going to be Fujitora either, so you guys can just kind of make your own assumptions on who's going to have in the list. Also, I'm not going to have Kong because there's literally no way to power scale someone who we've only seen just sit in the office and do nothing. We know he was a fleet admiral at one point, but there is not a single way I can even power scale him. Like what? I would have to make up. I would have to make up some. I had to be like, all right, well, Kong probably has the mythical zone fruit. Blah 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 blah. Like, no, there's no way. So I'm just gonna get into the people we've actually seen have battles. Maybe not all of them have had like a full-on fight to the death, but we've seen these guys in many different battle situations, and I'm just gonna get into it now. So number 5 on my list, I have Kizaru, the Yellow Monkey, Borsalino. He is my favorite admiral by far. I really enjoy his personality. I think he's goofy. I like his fighting style. I like how he kicks. I like his suit. Love the light powers. Basically, I think Kizaru is one of the coolest characters in One Piece in general. Loved how he destroyed the supernova. He has a plethora of powers. He has the light sword. He has the projectiles with the light beams. He has speed. His speed is weight kicks. He just has a total gigantic bag of tricks, and he is able to fight basically anyone of all time. I think people kind of underrate the admirals when they say, oh yeah, this guy can just mid-def an admiral. No, in my opinion, there's not anyone all time who can just walk over an admiral. Even the Great Gold Roger, I think the Gold Roger fought Akainu, he's not just gonna low diff him. You know what I'm saying? I think these guys are super powerful. They're gonna be the in-game opponents for the Straw Hats, who are gonna be the greatest crew of all time. So I would put some respect on the admirals. I know they've had some bad showings of late when it comes to Green Bull, but at the end of the day, that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about now. But Kizaru, super impressive. I think if he had the ambition that Akainu has, I think he would have been much higher on the list. I think he's someone who just is kind of chill. I think he's fine with where he is. And to me, I think it's impressive that he even made it this far in the Marines, being kind of chill and not really having the same fire and passion that some of the other Marines have shown. Kind of like Aokiji before he changed over to chill justice or lazy justice. A lot of them have had super burning passion in their heart to kill pirates, to enact justice on the world and all these things. But Kizaru just been kind of chill. He does do his job. It's not like he doesn't try at all. But I think we really haven't seen him bloodlusted. We haven't seen him go and fight to the fullest potential of himself. A lot of the times when he fights someone who's probably closer to that level, he kind of is like, all right, I'm not really tripping about you. Like when Rayleigh pulled up, I think Rayleigh is someone who had to try harder to really defeat. But at the end of the day, Rayleigh wasn't his mission, so it's he's not even really tripping about Rayleigh. The only time he got hit by Rayleigh is when he was actually going to go kill Zoro. So it's it is what it is there. Kizaru, very impressive, one of the strongest of all time. I'm really excited to see him fight Sanji potentially at the end of the series. I would really love that. I think that'd be one of the best choreographed fights that Oda has ever drawn. Alright, next I have Aokiji at number 4. Aokiji's powers are super dangerous. The fact that he can one-shot you, he can one-shot so many guys instantaneously. Considering he can freeze you to the bone. When he caught Jozu lacking, Jozu, someone very strong, a third commander, lifted gigantic icebergs, actually got a hit in on Aokiji that made him bleed, but someone that powerful got frozen to the bone to where his arm fell off. So imagine if he used ice time on someone like a Robin, like a Nami. I know we used it on Robin before, but if they didn't have, if it was, I'm saying if it was 1-on-1 and a lower level fighter had to fight Aokiji, they would get absolutely demolished. And he also can make a little sword out of ice. I don't know if that's really in his bag like that. We only saw it once, and it was also against him fighting against the way weaker monster trio. Obviously, if he fought them now, he'd have to really get in his bag. But back then, he really didn't have to try, because at the end of the day, they couldn't even touch him. They couldn't even hurt him at all because he's a Logia, and none of them had haki at that point. You could argue Zoro had haki, but at the end of the day, none of them were able to do a thing to Aokiji because he is a top tier fighter. He's someone who fought Akainu for 5 to 7 days, a long time basically. So he's super impressive, right? I think if you anyone who can fight Akainu to a standstill, someone who has super impressive offensive capabilities, I think that just kind of shows the level of fighter that Aokiji is. So I put Aokiji at number 4 of all time in my Admiral/Marine power rankings. Number 3, I have Akainu. I know a lot of you guys are probably going to be surprised to hear that, but I will give my explanation later in the video. But basically, Akainu is the current fleet admiral. He is the current strongest Marine. I think he is just super impressive. I love his drive. I love how Oda always likes to gas him up, saying he has one of the strongest offensive devil fruits, talking about how he would get the One Piece in a year. And it's kind of hard to know in what context he means by that, but if, like, for example, if he started in East Blue with the powers he has now, of course he would get the One Piece. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would be starting way better than Luffy did. But that's neither here nor there. He's super impressive. He has so many different ways. I mean, like, his durability to take all them hits from Whitebeard, the offensive capabilities, like we've already talked about. Akainu, relentless. He's a killer. He is one of the greatest. I really love his character, and I'm really excited to see who he fights in this series. A lot of people are saying it's going to be Sabo, but I really want to see Luffy get that one-on-one, get that get back. I know Sabo has, ways and reasons why he would want to fight him as well, but I think Luffy, with that scar on his chest, is not going to be able to move on with his life if he doesn't put hands on Akainu. And number 2, I have Sengoku the Buddha. Sengoku is someone who is super underrated in the community, in my opinion. He was the fleet admiral at one point, and even going back to the 2 years. He didn't have much fighting he didn't fight much in that arc, but I think it's obvious that, especially as we get the confirmation that he has Conqueror's Haki, I think it's obvious that he had Conqueror's Haki coding back then, on top of this mythical zone Devil Fruit. That's kind of like that's like a Kaido kind of combination, right? A mythical zone Devil Fruit with Conqueror's Haki coding. He probably had some of the best Haki in the verse. I'm trying to think about it. Like, it's like, dude, this guy was fighting, like, had Roger himself was saying, okay, if you want to fight me, Marines, you gotta send Garp and Sengoku. Like, to me, that's the ultimate portrayal boost ever. Like, I know we love to talk about portrayal and stuff, but having Roger himself say, oh yeah, if you want to fight me, you gotta bring Sengoku or Garp. If you're talking about Sengoku and Garp, I think they are relatively equal guys. I think they're super comparable. I do have Garp over him, as you can kind of assume, since I haven't even spoken about Garp yet. But at the end of the day, his power is very eerily similar to Whitebeard's in a way, with the shockwaves he can make, and we also haven't even really seen his full capabilities. This one is a little more headcanon-y, I guess, if you wanted to say, but in my opinion, he has the Conqueror's Haki confirmation. I do think that Akainu, by the end of the series, will be the strongest Marine ever, but I think at this point he probably isn't there yet, because Sengoku also was a part of defeating Golden Lion Shiki. And I'm sure there's a myriad of feats that we just never really got to learn about when it comes to Sengoku. Now, number 1 is obvious, the hero Garp, one of the strongest of all time, one of the top 3 to 5 strongest guys of all time, fought Roger a bunch of times, was a part of the Rocks incident. I mean, this guy has it all. He has Haki. The only thing we don't know about is just, we don't know if he has Conqueror's Haki or not, but I think it's safe to say he does, because if he's doing all that with just basic, well, not probably, obviously not basic, obviously be advanced, but if he's just doing all of that, what he was doing back in the day with just armament on his fist, that would be insane. And that, honestly, that's kind of unrealistic in my opinion. If he's just out there boxing them with, like, you know, put some hockey on his fist and he's punching Roger and he's punching Whitebeard and he's punching Rock, like that would be crazy. If anything, that would probably make it more impressive. But I think he has all three types of hockey, considering he doesn't have a dove fruit, so he needs, you know, he needs things to kind of bridge the gap between him and the other top tiers. And those guys back then, I mean, he had to fight against, you know, Big Mom and Kaido and Rox and Roger and Shiki. I mean, just think about the gauntlets that Garp had to go through in his prime. This dude is super impressive, and he would have been the Fleet Admiral, in my opinion, if he really had that ambition. But we know that he doesn't like the Celestial Dragon, so he would never do that. So yeah, we're at the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys agree with me. I mean, you don't have to agree with me. Give me your top 5 strongest Marines of all time in the comment section. If you disagree with me, you know, maybe we can have a little back and forth in the comment section. I really appreciate you guys for watching this video today. Calvin the Goat signing out. Have a good day, guys.